Hello, everybody, and welcome back. I am Beth Ridley. We are still at No Studios, having a really great time interviewing our guests. And you know what? So we've had maybe about, I would say, like 6 guests so far. Some really fantastic interviews and stories. Hopefully you've had a chance to listen to some of them, if not all of them. But we want to hear from you. So definitely leave a comment and let us know whose story really resonated with you. Is there anyone that you heard today that maybe you'd like to hear more of? And I'm happy to do a fuller interview with someone. So let us know what you think. Send a comment. And I'll keep reminding you to do that as we chug along here. All right, so we are back from our brief break. And now I'm being joined with Frances Pitt. Okay, now Frances, when I was reading your bio, what struck me here is that you say you help people learn to play the bigger game of life. Oh, so I am intrigued by that. What do you mean by that?
Now, that is a good question. What I mean by that, in order to play a bigger life, we have to understand ourselves more. And that's why I go into the question pertaining to what is my passion?
Yeah.
And that is changing the mindsets of people.
Yeah.
And how do we do that, or how do I do that? I work with 5 principles.
Okay.
Right thoughts, right words, right action, right reactions, and right feelings. And we have to really work with changing some of those things around those words. For example,
Yeah.
right thoughts would be the thoughts that are uplifting, thoughts that are praising, thoughts that are good and very good. And right words, choosing your words consciously to move into the direction and the action that you would like to have. So we can't play a bigger game until we're bigger in understanding who and what we are.
Right. So, it sounds like just really good common sense advice, but that doesn't mean it's easy. What trips people up in your experience working with so many people with your 5 principles? Why is it so hard for people to have the right thoughts, to be intentional about the words that they use?
Oh, that's a good question, too. I think when we say mindset, that's a collection of beliefs and behavior. So a lot of time, our old collection of thoughts and beliefs can either hold us back or keep us in the same place. So you have to be taught that there is a better way to think, a better way to live, and a better way to receive what you're looking for in life. But that is a switch. When I look at the students that I teach on a daily basis at a technical college, the biggest thing that I see missing is the self-esteem issue, or the part where they don't believe that they can do more than they're doing. So we have to switch that so we can have bigger dreams, bigger actions, bigger expectations, going into places where we're uncomfortable and meeting new and different people.
Yeah.
That's where it happens.
Yeah. And I think fear, we all live with some degree of fear. We all live with some degree of self-doubt. So when you're working with your students and you see that fear and self-doubt may be holding them back, what specifically might you recommend that they do, or how do you work with them to help push beyond that?
That is great. What I like to do is test a lot of time. There is a seminar that I do which is called The Greatness I Am Seeking is Also Seeking Me. So once we believe that is going on, then we can move forward. And my story to prove that is I attended a historical black college in Durham, North Carolina Central University. Short story, I was in charge of the statistics lab in the sociology department. And the dean came in on a Monday morning and caught me sleeping on the job.
Oh, Frances.
Yes.
Oh, Frances.
So I just knew she was going to fire me because this was a no-nonsense type dean. She came back with 3 graduate catalogs and said, "See, can you fill this out and get it back to me?" I did that, and 2 to 3 months later, I was at the UW-Milwaukee Graduate School.
Okay.
So the good that I was seeking, that I wasn't even aware of, was seeking me because maybe because of the prayers of my parents and other people, but what I was desiring, she was desiring, and she saw a bigger me.
Interesting.
And that is how we do the greatness you're seeking is also seeking you.
Okay, now I don't think what you're saying is if you fall asleep and take a nap, you're going to wake up and the opportunities will be in front of you. There was still intention, and it seems like your mentor, your boss at that time, probably knew to steer you in another direction. Did you have a conversation with her? Were you vocal about the things that you were seeking?
I don't remember all that because it's been so many years ago. But I know that at the historical black universities, they push you to be successful in every area of your life.
Got it.
So when we think about what just happened to the Morehouse graduates, that's a great example of the good that they were seeking was seeking them.
And so for those of you who might have not been hip to the fantastic news, the gentleman who was their commencement speaker ended his talk by relieving everyone of their student loans who had graduated that particular year.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And the key to that is some of those students that were there, they had to show up. They had to believe that they could get that money and pay their loan off. They believed they deserved to be there.
Yeah.
And on the last day of school, what happened? The greatness that they were seeking was answered.
Yeah.
So what about those who wanted to come but didn't dare and take the chance?
Yeah.
What about those who said, oh, I can't pay that type of tuition?
Right.
They didn't do the action step. What
Right.
do we say? 90% of success in life is showing up.
You're showing up.
And then the universe comes in and helps us out.
So what I like about what you're saying is there's a fair degree of personal accountability that you have to have to show up. But it sounds like even in your own experience, there were people pushing you maybe a little bit outside of your own comfort zone. So it's probably a little bit of a, well, would you agree that it's a combination of self-accountability, but then making sure that you're surrounding yourself with people who, a little bit of tough love, they're pushing you maybe when you don't feel quite ready because they know that you're ready.
Right, and all my life I have actually been in classes, seminars, institute on how to live a better life.
Yeah.
I've spent a lot of time in metaphysical school, which is life beyond the six senses that we see. And I put in maybe 8, 9, 10 years of actual studying and doing things before I started my 3 companies. So you got to do the work.
Yeah.
But my point is you're not doing it alone. There is a force that is there to help you move to a higher ground.
Yeah. So you've taken a lot of great personal life experiences and you've combined it with your academics, your research, your work, so that you can really coach and consult and teach people very credibly. And is there, when you think about maybe like even what's next for you, like what does pushing Frances out of her comfort zone mean?
Oh, now that is a good one. And you know, I show up at a lot of meetings where I may be the only African-American person in the room. To me, that is sometimes in an uncomfortable position, but I don't mind because I'm there to learn.
Yeah.
And pushing me to my next level is not, how should I say it, asking for help, not being afraid to ask for help.
Right.
Because when we ask for help, the universe opens up.
Yeah.
And also to step into new energy, higher energy, where people are doing the things that I want to do and I want to be around and having the conversation that I want more of. So I do network purposely, maybe 2 to 3 times a week with the intentions of learning something new, going in a different direction and meeting new and different people.
Yeah.
It's all about, as Les Brown would say, how hungry are you to live your best life?
Yeah, yeah. And we should all be really hungry, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and never really settle like, oh, this is it, and I can't. It's really about putting yourself out there.
Yes. I remember my first business, which was an outpatient mental health clinic. I and a partner started that because we didn't like the way the clients were being treated, the students, in other words. So we decided, well, we should do our own clinic. and treat families with respect and all the things that they deserve. So I started out at 26 doing that, not knowing whether I was going to make $500 a week, $50 a week, or $5,000, but I was willing to take that chance.
Yeah.
You see something that needs to be changed, then it's up to you to do something. Don't complain.
Yeah.
Just be what you want it to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's what I did. I've tried 3 or 4 businesses, all with that concept. My second one, I got burned out in the first one. After doing therapy, I'm a psychotherapist by training. After doing that for 10 years, I think I was burned out. I took some of the issues to heart. And anything dealing with children, I take to heart.
Sure.
So I moved on to financial planning for another 10 years. Got tired of that, and I went into professional speaking and did that, and I'm still doing that. But whenever I wanted to get more pleasure out of life and enjoyment out of life, I moved. I
Yeah.
didn't stay there.
Yeah, yeah. And I think a lot of people listening to this might be thinking, is that legal? Is that an option? I thought if I made a choice, I had to stick with that. But you're saying no.
No. And you know, I heard one of your person that you interviewed said fun was very important to her. I think the older I become, the more I realize that's important too.
Yeah,
Enjoying the people you're working with,
yeah.
enjoying the students you're with, enjoying whoever you're around. And if you're not, you shouldn't be in that energy.
Yeah.
Because you really want to be in energy that kind of like makes you feel like you're floating. It's
Yeah.
so good. It feels so right. And you want it to go on and on and on, and you want it in all areas of your life.
So why do you think so many people don't have that or allow themselves to have that? And one of the guests that we interviewed, Suzanne Singh, we both have kids that go to school together, so we were talking about how much we admire our kids sometimes, that they just go out and they have fun. Like, my daughter will like sing a song as loud as she can, and she doesn't know the words, but she doesn't care. She doesn't care who's watching her, and she's just having fun. Even though she's messing up the words, she's having fun. And I think kids know how to have fun intuitively. Then it seems like we get through a stage in life where it's all about the responsibility of the work, or we don't even feel like it's legal to incorporate fun in our job. Why do you think that is?
I don't know. Sometimes I think people are into pretending more than being authentic. You and I both know that when we're around people who are authentic, other people will become that way, and they will perform higher. They will enjoy their jobs better. So young people are not into pretending. They're just being who they are.
Yeah.
And I think as we learn to be who we are, then the creativity will jump in, the right people will show up at the right time, and the progress will be there. And you can measure your progress to the degree that you are having fun and enjoying what you're doing. I wouldn't
like
want to
that.
be in a job or a career that I was unhappy with. The
Right.
environment, the people I'm with, or anything like that. I
Yeah.
would choose to move myself outside of that.
So what advice do you have for the millions of people that do believe that they're stuck in a job that does not bring them joy?
I think that's just an old belief system, and it's a belief system we have to change and know that there's a better way.
So that's going back to your first point of your 5, the
Yeah.
mindset, right?
Right, the mindset, and also there are ways to get us to think differently. I also do hypnotherapy, and there is a way to take the stress out of our lives and reprogram our minds with what we really want to do and enjoy.
Wow,
And
I'm
the mind
intrigued
will
about
accept that, you know?
I think I want to have you back, and we're just going to talk hypnotherapy, because there's like a lot of things that I want you to hypnotize me on and
Okay.
wake up with a whole new mindset.
And can I end with this by saying why a lot of people fear hypnotherapy?
Yeah.
It's because maybe they think the therapist will ask something they don't really want to come out.
Right.
But it doesn't happen that way. The subconscious will protect the client. So anything you don't want to say, you come out of the unconsciousness and you say, I don't want to answer that, or I'm not comfortable with that, and then you go right back in.
Oh.
Now, how do I know that works?
Yeah.
Because in practice, when we were going through therapy, that happened to me. The partner kept calling me a different name, And I kept thinking, that's not my name. And the second time she said that, I rose up and I said, I am Frances, and went right back into the unconsciousness.
So, okay, now hypnotherapy, that is all new to me, and this is a whole nother topic, but you're here now.
Okay.
And we have a little bit of time. What is the purpose of hypnotherapy? Why would someone engage in that?
Hypnotherapy is a much shorter process than psychotherapy.
Okay.
Now, you know, people, when I was doing psychotherapy full time, some clients would come for a year or two or longer. But in hypnosis, we say within 3 or 4 sessions, we can handle whatever the issue is or the blockage.
Wow.
Because we're going to really relax you to a certain point where you can discuss it, move it up, get it out, and program it with what you really want to happen in your life.
Yeah.
And that's how it works.
Right. Yeah, that sounds intriguing. I need to learn more.
But
That's
it's
like a
true.
whole new. No, I don't. No, I don't doubt it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying this is a topic that I have no experience in, and I really don't know much
Well,
about
then
it. So
you
it's
can
interesting.
become one of my clients.
No, I'm scared. Well, we should talk offline. Yeah.
Okay,
No, I'm
very good.
intrigued. Man, you've got wow, a wealth of experience. Hey, before we go, what do you get out of being a member at No Studios?
Oh, you know, there's something about the energy in this building, and some people call it the vibrations in a building. But whenever I walk in here, I always feel relaxed and that something great will happen today.
Oh, I love it.
And actually, I bump into Lisa every time I come in here, and we have little short conversations. But there are other people that are mingling, and I have meetings here. I plan to have a seminar here on June 1st, and I'm sharing it with other people. It's just a building and space where greatness can show up.
Yeah, and I've heard that a lot from the people that I've been interviewing in terms of when they first walked in, it felt welcoming, it felt different, it felt diverse, and so it really is sort of creating that vibe, that welcoming, that community.
And it pulls you in.
Yeah.
And you want to stay for a while.
Yeah.
And you're also in a learning environment.
Yeah.
And I think you get all
Oh, I
of the
think that's so
above.
important. How
Yes.
often are we, I mean, I don't think we're often have the opportunity to be in a learning environment if we're like not enrolled in school anymore, right? You had mentioned you're doing something on June 1st. Give it a little plug.
All right, the plug is the name of the seminar is The Greatness I Am Seeking is Also Seeking Me.
Yeah.
And I believe that from the depth of my heart that we live a life like that. And whatever is showing up around us, we are attracting that. We're pulling it to us.
Yeah.
Good, bad, or indifferent. But we can change it to move the way we desire it to go.
Yeah. Man, on that inspiring note, I'm going to close down our interview so we can reset and freshen up and grab some more snacks and drinks. But Frances, it was a pleasure meeting you, and thank you so much for sharing your wisdom and your advice. I got a lot out of it.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
Yeah. All right, everybody. So stay tuned. We are going to be back. And I think next up on the docket is Allison. I'm excited to talk to Allison, and she's there in the background. And so stay tuned. We'll be right back.